Hi everyone, my name is Rain Daniels, producer and director of Daniels Film Studios. I'm making this video today because I want to inform everyone that we're going big and we're aiming as higher and higher as we can. We're ensuring that we're going to be the best out there. We are a local, small filmmaking business, and even if we are not there yet, into internationals, into Hollywood, we're going to get there. And because we are not just some ordinary studio, we are a studio, we are a community studio. We are a place and a platform that utilizes its resources, its technology, and advances it even much more better, and using even small ways to make the most biggest and best films in human history. Let's get into the video.
Daniel's Film Studios, where imagination meets reality.
Right, so here in Daniel's Film Studios, we usually make something like for our cameras. You might have seen this bad boy. This guy was the iPhone, I'm not sure, iPhone 6, 8, that protected the Force, Nation of Law and Intelligence. You see, the movie The Force, Nation of Law and Intelligence is a movie created by us, which was my very first film in the community of El Dorado Park. So usually we utilized all the resources that we got and we made a great movie though. Seriously, at least it had a lot of action, a lot of things, and it was even more better than what we know of. It was even more better than, I can't say really that it's better than other films out there or stuff, but it's a starter. It's a great movie. You should check it out on Daniel's Film Studios on YouTube that we are on as the platform. And yeah, this guy, what I like to say about the iPhone is that it's very much a great thing to use in terms of editing software or even in terms of camera or so. It's pretty much better. It's pretty much greater than just wasting time on cameras or so. And the future of filmmaking, it's much more better when it comes to camera makings and stuff. And I'd recommend that if you want to be a filmmaker, I suggest you, or if you want to become a filmmaker and make your own films, but you're in a rush, you want to make it like now and stuff, like you're gaining on it, instead of wasting money on cameras and stuff, I'd recommend your own phone. Yeah, I recommend your own phone. Because no matter what phone is it, as long as the image is correct and the camera and lighting and stuff is cool, you can really make a great film out of it. It doesn't have to be big. You need to start off small sometimes, just like I did when I created Dan's Film Studios. And yeah, a very small business we are. Yeah, I'd recommend the iPhone for starters. Now, the first step of becoming a great filmmaker, you need to start off small. So what I can do to provide some information about filmmaking, it doesn't matter, first of all, it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what your ethnic background is. Or it doesn't even matter what's going on in your life or anything or the hardships or what pain you're going through and stuff. You can do anything as long as you follow your dream. You say, well, I would say you should dream it, you should wish it, you should do it. The first step of becoming a filmmaker is simple. Either you already have a camera, or you can ask a friend for a camera, or so something like but I would rather recommend your phone, as previously mentioned. I would recommend your phone. So let's say you got your phone, right? What's this next step? Well, remember, you need to start off like a sketchy kind of thing. What you first could do, what I'd recommend you doing, is drawing your scenes. It doesn't have to be like draw it just like that. It can be drawn in an easy way. Like you could just take some piece of paper, take a pen or a pencil, start making the layout and stuff. Start making, like, let's say a square building, stick people or so, things like that. You can make that, and then you can just yeah, you can make that, and then you visualize in your mindset on how you want the scene to go out. So let's say I want to make a shooting scene. All right, where's it going to be? People are shooting. Now I got that in my mind. The audience needs to be attracted. Let's say it's your first scene and you want to make a bank robbery at the first scene. Right. Obviously, you could buy a plastic gun or so, make it look real. Or just buy a plastic black gun or so at the shop or anything, and then all you're gonna need is, yeah, you got your equipment, that's a gun. Depends on what's happening. If it's a bank robbery, you should maybe ask a friend or decorate the house and make it look like a bank. Or you start out simple. I don't know really what much on what you as the character, but it actually depends on you, on what kind of movie you want to make. If it's an action film, let's say for instance it's an action film and it's you're at the bank and you're thinking, all right, there's only one bank robber. You need the place. You need the place. Let's say your own house, turn it into a bank. If you're creative, turn it into a bank. And then you can just take out that plastic gun you bought. Um, you can download a editing software like CapCut. I'd recommend CapCut. CapCut is a very great editor to use for in terms of filmmaking because we'd previously used CapCut for a few of my smaller videos and stuff and clips. But CapCut can and will have the power to host your own future film on your iPhone. Right. So as I said that CapCut will do that. Um let's go back to the scene. So step 2. Once you have your sketch paper written out, you're visualized. So you visualize and you write down. That was step 1. Alright, now you need to enact this. What's going to be needed for the scene? Plastic gun, because you're envisioning a bank robber that is stealing money from the bank. Right. So someone is stealing money from the bank. Right. Who is your cast? Let's first start with your cast. Who's your cast members? Well, we can, if, remember, it all depends on you for what kind of film you want to make and what kind of scene or what do you want must happen in that thing. It all depends on you as the creator. But this is just an example. So here's an example. You got your equipment. Plastic gun, for example. Plastic gun, that's your equipment. Then you got your cast. A guy, a bank, a bank teller, and a police officer. Or let's say 2 police officers, to make the scene look more interesting. You see, it's not just what they're saying and stuff. It also must have a lot of people. You need to get a lot of people in the movie because the less people there are in your film, the more they're gonna be a little more unattractive. If it's a great movie and stuff, they're expecting a lot of people to be in the scenes, to be in these movies, to actually, yeah, stuff like that. But the main thing about people being in a film is that when there's a lot of characters around, it's very much interesting to know all of their stories and things so that you can keep the audience entertained. Audience want to be entertained, to be inspired. That's where films come in. Right. So, your equipment is a gun. Your cast is a guy, a police officer, 2 police officers, and a bank teller. So, now you know what's going to be there. So you also write it down, just not to forget, in case you're that kind of person who forgets these things every now and then. So you draft it up. Once that is complete, then takes us to step 4. you need to now find your cast. Now, this is a very hard thing for filmmakers today because you can't just convince people so easily to actually be in a thing that you want them to be in. You need to find people who are actually interested in filmmaking, like friends, family, community, friends, yeah, or even friends at school. If you're a younger filmmaker, I mean, I'm 15 already, so it would not be hard. It would be actually easy for you who's maybe younger than me or even older. But this video is for every sort of filmmaker, regardless of your age. So, finding your cast, you actually need to look around, friends, family, school, anywhere, college, work. It's all depends on you. Or it being so. Now, it's not really hard to gather a small cast, but you need to find people who are actually interested in stuff and how they see you and your well-being. So let's say you got a cast. For example, I got my cast. I already had my equipment before I got the cast. So I got the cast. And now me and the cast need to plan out how they're going to act in the scene. Which takes me to step 5. Step 5. Your cast has to know what to do in that particular scene. What they need to do, they need to act according to how you want them to act in that scene. Now, you can do whatever you want on how they should act within that scene, but you also need to take note that the audience will watch this movie. And what will that scene inspire them to do? Will it inspire them to go out there and actually be good to the bank people, or will it inspire them to make their own films and make it even better? Or will it inspire them just to love the movie because there'll be those people who love action and the first time they see actions, yeah, this is a bank robbery. It's action at first sight, so obviously they're going to want to come and watch. There are different types of audience who love different types of movies. But even if a person loves action, they'll also love drama. So if you get those audience who actually loves drama and action, then you got those audience who love singing and and stuff like that and comedy, then you're in the right space as well. It also depends on how your people, because first of all, you need to gain support from your community. You need your community people to see that you got something, you know what to do, and you know what their entertainment is. But you take their entertainment and what they're usually liking to watch, and then you turn it into something even better. It's still what they were asking for, but they haven't expected something better and greater than ever. You see where I'm going with this? So yeah, step 5. You need to you need to also study things and find out a lot of things on how about it works on filmmaking, which is why this video is here. What you can do, for example, I can take my phone, or I can take my phone, and then I could just take another sketch paper and write down on how I'm gonna teach these people. Then I would also say, like, let's say you're making a scene whereby the person is taking the gun and robbing a bank.